It's the Daylight Midnight Show.
Hello and welcome to the Daylight Midnight Show. My name is Greg and it's going to be very hard for me not to talk like a pantomime dame today in this get-up. Look, I said I was going to wear makeup. I didn't say I was going to do a good job of it. Right, let's get this over with. First things first, make sure the timer is running, which it is. Second things second, let's reveal our wonderful word of the week. This is what we're doing instead of the Gregometer during season 2. As we go through the week and we research and write this show, we occasionally encounter words we're not familiar with, so we educate ourselves and then we try and educate you. Our wonderful word of the week this week is the word blatherskite. Now this is very appropriate to me once again. A blatherskite is a person who talks at great length without ever making any sense. I'm seriously considering renaming this show the Blatherskite Show from next week. So that can sit proudly there. From the word of the week we swing round to the Door of Delights, and I'm going to do a Seagulls update for the first time in a while. Brighton and Hove Albion are our chosen team to support as a show until the end of the Premier League season. And it was the closure of the transfer window this week, and very few Premier League teams bought anybody, but Brighton did bring in a new player, an Ecuadorian midfielder whose name I think is Moses Caicedo. I think that's how it's pronounced. He could well make his debut this afternoon, and we followed that up with our best win since being back in the Premier League, a 1-0 win at Anfield, the home of the Premier League champions Liverpool, in midweek. Go Brighton, we are staying up this year. The match today is away at Burnley. By the time you see this, that match will be over. But I am going to mention the midweek game coming up against Leicester in the FA Cup because I have had a premonition. I've had a good feeling. The Seagulls are going to fly all the way to Wembley. I'm telling you now, Brighton and Hove Albion will be appearing in the FA Cup final this year. That's about it. Oh, but what's this? Why, it's only this week's topical limerick. The story is this. I'm going to take you all the way to Australia once again, and a place on the famous Gold Coast, and a little place called Rainbow Bay, where there are a family called the Millers. And Kate Miller, who is the mum, found a little tiny abandoned duckling that was about 8 hours old. So she took it in the house, they have hand-reared it, it's become part of the family. It's now 8 months old. They imaginatively called it Duck. But the reason it's become well known and in the news this week is because they're a surfing family, and every day they go from their house down to the beach and they surf, and the duck has started going with them. And not only does he go with them, he's actually started joining in. So he will fly out, land in front of a wave and actually surf the wave in with his wings outstretched. At times he's got tired because they're sometimes there for 2 hours, so he started hopping on the back of people's surfboards to get a lift. As is typical of the modern world, he has his own Instagram account, and every day the family put up pictures that other people on the beach have taken of him surfing and flying. So a limerick about this story. In Rainbow Bay on the Gold Coast, there's a surfing duck of whom they boast. Duck is his name, he has Instagram fame. I'm just thinking of l'orange and roast. That took a dark turn at the end there. I will give that a C+. So from the Door of Delights we swing round to have a look in the brown folder, which of course now has its own theme song. I have ideas that make me smile and some that make me frown. Let's see what is written in the folder that is brown. That's a work in progress. So the brown folder is just where I write little ideas down as I go about my daily life, and then we have a look through it together on a Friday. Point number 1 this week, show my new toy. Oh yeah, about the middle of season 1, when I first started talking about Christmas, which I think was about August time, I said there was only one thing on my Christmas list, and it was a brand new wok. And I have it, so I wanted to share it with you. This is, I love the stone effect. It's like, every day I look into this, it's like looking into space. So I have a new toy, I have my wok, I'm going to stir-fry the hell out of 2021. That's point number 1. Point number 2 this week is about Silence of the Lambs. Last week I had this idea during the show about writing a musical version of Silence of the Lambs, and wouldn't that be a great film? It turns out someone's already done it. There has been a Silence of the Lambs musical performed on stage. You can find some of the songs and some clips on YouTube. Parental advisory is advised because the film was an 18 and the stage show probably should have been as well, so don't go looking for it with your family. Point number 3 this week is take baseball cap off outfit roulette. Oh yeah, my face was in shadow last week and couldn't be seen properly. So I'm going to take the baseball cap off because I think it was messing up the focusing on the camera as well. So from now on we won't have baseball cap on there, but we need to replace it with something I was going to put wig, but I don't actually have that many wigs. So I'm going to leave it for now and think about that later. Just hope the baseball cap doesn't come up again this week. And finally, I've got a few extra little things in the brown folder. Last week, you'll remember, I did an online survey and there was a question about another good name for peanut butter, and I came up with the name Gobwax. That's inspired me to come up with a few other products that I think the Daylight Midnight Food Company could produce in the future. I'm not intending to be hosting this show forever. I want to branch out, form a company that makes modern food. So, taking inspiration from my own cupboard, the first product I've decided on this week is Marmite. It's like Marmite, but it calms you down. I think we're all going through a stressful time with lockdowns, with viruses, and we need a little something to take the edge off. So I've gone for Marmite. You either love it or you hate it, but we've decided to put extras in it to, give you that little bit of a chill factor. I did wonder what are the main ingredients in Marmite, so I looked them up. The main bulk of Marmite is something called glutamic acid-rich yeast extract. Yummy. It also contains lots of salt, vegetable extract, spice extract, celery extract. There's a lot of extracts in Marmite. So we're going to use all that, but we're also going to add to that some prescription level medication, antidepressants, anti-anxiety medication, probably some alcohol as well. Give you that a yummy treat to spread on your toast at night and just calm yourself down a little bit. That's product number one. So let's put it up on the door of delights. Why not? This can be a massive advertising board for products that we're going to create in the coming weeks and months. So Marmite can proudly sit there. Product number two this week. I'm not quite so happy about this one. This didn't turn out quite as well as I thought it would do, but I was trying to save you some time in the mornings. Now, what are things we all like to do before getting on with our day? We want to have an intake of caffeine, but then we want to make sure that our mouth feels nice and fresh. So I've decided to link up with Colgate, with coffee producers, and with Coffee Mate to come up with something that I'm calling Coffee Mate. That needs a bit of work, but basically it's everything that you normally do in the morning, apart from sitting on the toilet, all put into one healthy paste. So you brush your teeth with it, it froths up, you get a lovely cup of coffee, but it cleans your mouth at the same time. So you can sweat your mouth out with that before you head off to work. I think that one, because I've done it in... I never remember which one's portrait and which one's landscape. I think that's portrait, this is landscape. So let's move our Seagull's logo over. Oh, how much blue tack did I use for that? Oh, I need to come up with another product for blue tack. So that can go there. We'll put Coffee Mate there, and I'll just come up with another name for that because that doesn't really trip off the tongue, does it? And one more for you. I know that a lot of people have pets, so as well as producing stuff for you to eat, we want to produce stuff that keeps your pets nice and healthy and looking refreshed as well. We have a lot of instant snacks. If you're in a rush, if you're a student, you turn to a pot noodle. You put on the kettle, you fill this thing up, you leave it for 3 minutes, and then you eat it. I think dogs should have something similar. So if you're going to produce a version of pot noodle for dogs, what are you going to call it? You're going to call it Not Poodle. This one is green, so it's chicken and mushroom flavour. We will be producing other flavours such as Siamese cat, postman's leg, and I'm sure our most popular flavour will be just a hint of the aroma of other dogs' bums. So keep an eye out for these products. I'm going to try and get some researchers going. What I'm probably going to do is buy some dog food, mix it with some noodles, and then feed it to my children and see what happens. But we'll worry about that at a later time. So there we go. There's a few little advertisements, and the door of delights is starting to fill up. Lovely. So this dress is starting to tighten under there. So let's decide what I'm going to wear next week. I'm going to have to stand up because my little Rubik's Cube has gone flying across the carpet. So we use the randomness of the Rubik's Cube. I still can't think of something to put on instead of baseball cap. So I'll leave it like that for this week. So let's have a little spin of this. This decides what I'm going to wear and what I will accessorise it with next week. We have yellow, so I will be wearing my stripy jacket again next week. I will be accessorising that, or underneath that I will be wearing orange, which is my onesie. Going to be a warm week next week, and that didn't spin at all. So let's see that, and then let's spin it a little bit more for a bit more randomisation. And that is blue, so I will be wearing glasses next week. So this jacket with a onesie underneath, and I will be wearing glasses. That's it for this show. I hope you don't get buried in snow because we are expecting some over the weekend. A rhyming couplet to end the show on. Today I'm wearing makeup and I'm sat here in a dress. I hope that might distract you from the fact this show's a mess. I will see you next week. Have a great 7 days.